Hello, this is Sabrina Taro 808. Today I'm bringing you a video with the reversals in order, but in order as well as the numbers, not in the number of the elements. So here we're looking at the Everyday Tarot, the mini version, which is on Amazon like for $12, and it's very nice and simplistic style, but yet it has enough to make it great for readings. Um, in If you already know tarot in the upright, I'm gonna go with the upright and then the reversal, so that to have an eye. Of course, in the best way to understand things is probably see them as a duality. So what it means in the upright and what it means in the reverse. So the Fool is of course new beginnings, starting new things, taking a leap of faith, taking a shot into the dark, while in the reverse it can be being foolish or not looking before you leap and falling down, or being too naive as well. The Magician is the manifester, knows how to balance and manifest with the four elements, with the cup, with the water, the earth, the air, the fire, and the water, and knows how to coordinate that with the heavens above and with the earth below, in order to align his desires and manifest what he wants in a very tangible way. And in the reverse, it would be like a trickster, or it would be someone that has an imbalance on one of the elements, which could mean that they have maybe ego problems or things that they need to outgrow. The High Priestess is intuition, following your intuition, that inner knowledge, and the occult as well. And the reverse would be not following your intuition, or blocking your intuition, or blocking seeing something as it is. In the upright, it can also mean that you already know, or you can sense the answer to what's going on. The Empress is abundance. She's the creator. She's Mother Earth, Gaia. She has manifested and balanced all the four energies of the elements, all the queens of the pentacles, the swords, the wands, and the cups. In reverse, and of course she's very benefic, very benevolent, like the Virgin Miriam. And on the reverse, it can mean a manipulator, or a bit tyrannical even. Now all the reverses and the meanings also depend on the cards that are around the reading. I'm going to do another video on how I actually do my readings and my style. I'm not saying that my style is the only one, but maybe it can help someone there that's practicing. And it one never stops learning about tarot, and it's nice to see other people's approach to it. Gives us ideas and how to be creative. The Emperor is about structure, is about the laws of life. It's 4, which is a number of structure. It's a dominion over your empire, over yourself, over your trade. And in the reverse, it would be a dictator, of course, a micromanager. If the Emperor in the upright is a great manager and a great business owner, on the reverse, it would be a micromanager that is probably going to bankrupt its company because of his ego. The Hierophant is doctrines and authorities, figures of authority, or traditions. Can also mean marriage sometimes, or maybe it can also represent the law. On the reverse, it means an excess of the law to the detriment of reason and compassion and logic. The Lovers could mean lovers in general, love, feeling in love. But it also means taking decisions. It can also mean marrying yourself to a project, to a workplace, to way of life. It can mean a lot of things that you embrace with your heart and you commit yourself with your heart, and it's a voluntary decision, such as love is. And in the reverse, it can mean a broken relationship, of work, of love, or it can mean stalemate in a relationship as well, a time of being separated. The Chariot means victory and movement and success, but it also means taking decisions. It can mean fast movement, depending on the energy of the other cards, or it can also mean taking a moment to decide which way you want to go. What is the place where you want to go with purpose and in a quick manner. And the reverse would be not having a good, not having direction, like a chariot that doesn't have a real destination, and it's probably going to crash or it's going too fast. Strength is about having a sweet approach to strength, as in the saying that honey is the best way to get things than with bitterness, and that it also takes time and knowing a person and having compassion in yourself as well. And it's about also the being your own, taming your inner lion, taming the beast within with compassion and becoming more humane, approaching a way in a compassionate way, or someone that sees you this way, like you're a person that is very regal and you have strength in yourself in a very compassionate way. And the reverse would be maybe that you're lacking compassion in your approach, or that you may feel you don't have the strength to deal with a situation, or that maybe you need to actually apply some strength and boundaries to a situation because it's not feeling balanced for you. The Hermit is a card of being alone, of finding your inner light, of having time of solitude to go within. It's also the card of being spiritual. Is the card of Virgo. In the reverse could mean, and this is of course a time of being by yourself and doing exactly that, going inside and finding your purpose or doing inner healing. And on the reverse, it means probably a need or a calling from the cards to get out of that hermit mode and to become more social, or just to have a more balanced way in which to be a hermit. It's okay if not everybody is a social person, but there has to be some basic balance, of course. The wheel is about changes and great fortune. And on the reverse, it could mean like unexpected changes that kind of bring some hiccups into your life plan. But very rarely they probably mean that it might take a bit while longer. There might be some obstacles in the way for whatever you want to achieve, but it doesn't mean that things are not going to go your way. At the end, the wheel is always turning, and at some point it's going to turn in your favor. Justice, of course, is about justice, about balance, is about the law, about doing things in a fair way. And of course, in the reverse, it would be unfair action or injustice, or in calumnies as well. The Hangman is about seeing things from a different perspective, and it's a stalemate time, while in the reverse it would be that the time to think about this, whatever you're thinking, is over and it's time to act, and that you've been on the stalemate mode for too long. The card of Death pretty much means the same in reverse as it does on the upright, because it's a cycle as well, just like the wheel. Of death and rebirth, because this is what life is all about, death and rebirth of stages, of bigger things, like from being born to dying, from dying several times in our lifetimes on regards to the different stages of our life. We die we complete the time when we stop being children, and we begin the stage of being teenagers and then young adults and so forth and so on, in this philosophical way of thinking that includes tarot cards, that life is never ending and that we're always reincarnating. Temperance is about balance and finding balance, and of course on the reverse it would be an imbalanced situation, probably a calling to find balance within. The The devil is about our vices or things that have us chained in life, but the chain is because we don't have discipline or because we're not facing whatever we need to face, but it's not because we're voluntarily chained to things that are not doing us any good or benefit. Or this could also mean someone that is obsessed with you. It could be like obsessed. I'm not sure if non-sexually would apply, but probably sexually applies. But it doesn't have to be negative. Well, of course, it depends on the rest of the cards. But I've never had such a reading like that. But anyways, it's usually like they're very fugacious or very fiery people. But and I don't see it as a negative thing in per se, as just a card. And upside down, it would be probably telling us about people who have rehabilitated from their vices, who have let go of that chain, who have mastered already that lesson. And the lesson of the devil is for everybody, not just for people that with vices and that go to the AA or NA, or we all have our vices and the things that we have to unchain ourselves from. The Tower is, of course, not a nice moment. It's a shook up in our life, something that comes from a point that you were not expecting. It shakes your life. It feels uncomfortable. It's never a card you want to get. So although some people get excited about it, I guess I find there's reason to get excited about it because it usually means the break of paradigms. And maybe in the reading, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that something terrible is going to happen, but it probably is going to shook you in a necessary way, something that you didn't want to face. It was going to just break down by itself, like a break of paradigm, or the pieces are like a house of cards when things are not well constructed and they necessarily need to fall down. And in the reverse, it means, and of course, the promise of the Tower card is that it always brings something better. After something is destroyed, it was necessary for it to be destroyed. Greater things are built from that. So those Tower moments also have a reason and a season. And the reverse of the Tower would be moments that are not as heavy as in the upright. I mean, it lessens the effect of the Tower. The promise of the Tower, actually, because these cards are in order for the majors, or the 22 majors, which are like the largest energies of the cards. They usually mean larger life lessons, while the rest of the cards that are similar to the poker cards, they represent more day-to-day situations. But between all the 78 cards, you get a storyline of what's going on in a person's life. The Star is about hope. It's about destiny. Or it can be about either or. It's about great things. It's about things that make you feel good. It's about feeling like you're balanced, like you're a sailor in the sea and you know your stars and you know where you're heading. The sky is clear. It can also mean movement. It represents it can also represent in a spiritual way our connection to the heavens. So sometimes it can come up as a card during difficult times, and you receive the mercy of the heavens above from God. And I think miracles even can be represented by the Star. And on the upside, on the reverse, it doesn't diminish much of its energy, just a little bit of it. Like a second wind, or the help from a neighbor just when you needed it. You needed a few more coins to get on the bus and you didn't have them, and a stranger gave you the money. Things like that, little miracles in the day-to-day. The moon represents that which cannot be seen because it has its cycles. It's usually when the moon appears, it's things that are hidden and or that come out from being hidden. It can be a bit of a turmoil emotions maybe, or feeling a bit lost. And on the reverse, it means having clarity. This is also the way or the reason why it's about shady or not knowing what's going on is because there's a decision going on if you follow your instincts or if you tame yourself. Because well, actually not in this deck, but most decks have a dog and a wolf, and it represents taming yourself and deciding if you're going to go by your instincts, or maybe that might not be the higher path, or if you're going to go the higher road and in a domesticated and polite way of a situation. So it's the moon card. You have to feel the moon card when it shows up in a reading. It has a different energy. It could also mean a situation that's going to happen in a full moon, or it's going to happen usually in a full moon. For me, at least, in my readings. The Sun, which is the happiest card of the tarot deck, is about success and greater things. This is such a blessing. If there's a card that is a blessing from God, is the Sun. And actually, some tarot decks and some tarot philosophies see actually the Sun as Jesus, as baby Jesus, as the promise of baby Jesus. This is one card that even upside down, it means great things. It just lessens a bit the brightness or the happiness. Maybe you're going to receive like a gift, or maybe even a bouquet of yellow flowers, of yellow roses. It just like something nice, like a nice token. But in the upright, it also means you make some. If someone feels the Sun card for you, that means they see you as the sun. Like there's no sunshine when she's gone. That kind of thing. So it's a great thing if you get the Sun card. Like if someone feels like that for you. The Judgment is about a calling in life. If it means, it's usually a heavy card. Maybe you're going through inner emotional cleanup, or like a spring cleanup in your brain, or like you're getting insightful with yourself about your past, about how you want to continue forward in life. Or maybe it's a situation in life that comes as a moment where you have to question what you're doing and what's going on. I could also mean the judgment of others. On the reverse, it could mean maybe some harsh judgment. Maybe you did some harsh judgment on someone, or someone does it on you. Or maybe on the reverse, it could also mean that you're not following your calling, and that you probably should, and that's probably the answer to your questions. The World card is the card of completion, because it's the last card of the 22 cards. And I'm gonna end this video here, and I'm gonna do the rest. I don't know if by numbers, maybe by numbers, or maybe the whole deck, as practice for those that want to practice their skills, or just meditate a bit with the tarot cards. So the World card is about completion. It's about success. If you ask how is a business venture going to go, and you get the World card, it means great things. It could also mean you go global, or you go very successful. Could even mean a franchise. If someone feels the world for you, you are the world for them. You make them feel complete. It's the card of having it all, of having accomplished all that you needed to accomplish. But it's also an end, and in its way, it also means that an end and a beginning. That once one cycle begins, we go again back into the full stage. So I hope you like that. And I'll put the links to the next reverses for the same deck in the links below.